Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Could Chicago PD lose a series regular before season 13? It's been some time since we've had a huge character death in Chicago PD. Let's be honest, the death of Martell doesn't quite scream big, considering we didn't really get to know her in the one episode she was on. Gloria was a CI, so naturally, death comes. The big deaths are those that happen to someone in intelligence. There's a hint that a big death is coming, with Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 21 being titled Open Casket. Of course, it's possible that the open casket belongs to someone else, maybe someone like Deputy Chief Reed, but there is also a good chance that it links to someone within intelligence. The One Chicago universe is losing some series regulars. We know that Chicago Fire will see the loss of 2 series regulars in Season 14. At the time of reporting those losses, Deadline also shared that we could see other Dick Wolf shows losing some characters. So that means we're turning our attention to the likes of the Law and Order shows and Chicago PD. Chicago PD is already a smaller ensemble cast compared to the other shows within the Dick Wolf universe. It doesn't make sense to lose someone permanently, as it looks like the way of doing things with characters missing for an episode or 2 here, and there is working. However, with the title of the penultimate episode, and the fact that Dan Torres is struggling a lot right now, we could see him out of the series. Could Dan Torres leave intelligence in Chicago PD Season 12? Torres opened up to Void about how much he's struggling right now. He suffers from insomnia, and because of that, he's boxing every night just to get to the point of exhaustion. His whole life is a struggle because of it, though, and his work is suffering. While he seemed a bit more switched on in the most recent episode, it's clear that he's still not 100%. This could be a way to write out Torres's character permanently. He could mess up in a way that costs him his job, in a way that Voight can't fix. Or maybe Reed is done playing with intelligence and decides to take Torres and Burgess down before he goes down. With the open casket episode, though, is it possible that Torres is the one in that casket? Could something go wrong because of his insomnia that it ends up with him getting killed in the line of duty? This would be a huge move for the series, as the last major death came back in Chicago PD Season 5. Other intelligence unit team members who have left have been able to walk away on their own terms. To remind us that this job is dangerous, maybe another big death is just around the corner. As Chicago PD barrels toward its 13th season, fans are beginning to whisper about a possibility no one wants to face. Could the show be on the verge of losing a series regular? With rumors swirling, cryptic social media posts, and emotional farewells hinted at behind the scenes, speculation is at an all-time high. Over the years, Chicago PD has weathered its fair share of exits. From Aaron Lindsay's departure to Antonio Dawson's quiet fade from the screen, the procedural drama has proven time and again that it can evolve without losing its core identity. But with Season 12 stirring up deep personal arcs and career-defining moments for several characters, the tension is thick. And not just in the precinct. At the heart of the speculation is Detective Haley Upton. Played by Tracy Spiridakos, Upton has become one of the emotional anchors of the show, particularly following the departure of Jay Halstead, Jessa Lee Soffer. With her arc in recent seasons focusing on trauma, solitude, and an unrelenting pursuit of justice, fans have watched her unravel and rebuild herself piece by piece. But lately, there's been an eerie sense of closure in her storyline. Haley's recent brush with death and her sobering reflection about life beyond the badge might not just be character development. It might be a graceful way of setting the stage for a goodbye. Off-screen, Spiridakos has been notably quiet about her contract status. while NBC and Wolf Entertainment have yet to confirm any changes. Showrunners have hinted that Season 12 will redefine the unit. In Chicago PD language, that usually means someone is about to make a life-altering decision, whether they want to or not. But Haley isn't the only name being tossed around in exit conversations. Veteran surgeon Hank Voight, Jason Begg, is also a candidate. Voight has led the intelligence unit with a complex blend of grit, compassion, and questionable ethics. But recent storylines have seen him more introspective, perhaps signaling a man reaching the end of the line. After years of fighting crime in his own morally gray way, is it finally time for Voight to hang up his badge? Voight has long been the symbol of Chicago PD, a character whose presence defines the tone of the show. Losing him would be seismic. And yet, Bay has played Voight with such conviction for over a decade. It wouldn't be surprising if he was ready to explore new opportunities, or simply step away from the demanding role. If Voight does exit, the show would need a serious shift in structure, likely promoting one of the younger detectives or bringing in a fresh, commanding presence to fill the power vacuum. Then there's Kevin Atwater, Leroyce Hawkins, who has quietly become one of the most layered characters on the series. His recent leadership moments, personal sacrifices, and emotional storylines around race, justice, and community have pushed him to the forefront. Ironically, this growth might make him ripe for departure, either for a promotion out of the intelligence unit or a transfer that opens the door for a spin-off or bigger spotlight. Hawkins himself has dabbled in stand-up comedy and other acting projects, so it's possible he's exploring new paths. In the unpredictable world of One Chicago, exits rarely come without emotional weight. The writing team has a knack for blending heart-pounding action with gut-wrenching personal farewells. Whether it's a dramatic shootout, a resignation letter, or a quiet moment of realization in the locker room, the show makes sure that each departure resonates. If a series regular is leaving before Season 13, fans can expect the emotional stakes to be sky-high. But what if the departure isn't voluntary? The writers have never shied away from killing off characters to drive the emotional engine of the series. Given the increasingly dangerous missions the team undertakes, a tragic loss could serve as a pivotal moment for the unit heading into Season 13. With the city's crime landscape growing more complicated and political interference reaching new levels, the cost of being in intelligence has never been higher. On a more meta level, the behind-the-scenes landscape of television is shifting. Network shows like Chicago PD are facing tighter budgets, evolving viewer habits, and streaming competition. Sometimes, character exits are less about storytelling and more about financial or contractual negotiations. If a regular is leaving, it might be due to budget constraints, career changes, or a creative decision to keep the show fresh. Of course, there's always the wild card, a surprise return. Could someone like Halstead or Lindsay make a cameo or even rejoin the force, paving the way for another character's exit? With the right storyline, anything is possible in the One Chicago universe. As Season 12 inches closer to its finale, fans should brace themselves. The signs are there: subtle shifts in dialogue, heavy emotional beats, and foreboding musical cues. Someone in intelligence may be preparing to say goodbye. So could Chicago PD lose a series regular before Season 13? The answer is a cautious yes. Whether it's Upton seeking peace, Voight confronting his legacy, or Atwater moving on to new challenges, the next few episodes could bring a goodbye that reshapes the show. One thing's for sure, in the world of Chicago PD, loyalty runs deep, but change is always just one call away. Who do you think might leave? And who would you want to see take charge if they do?